What You Resist. Persists. Harnessing Acceptance for Real Change. Written and published by MSC Boost. Chapter 1. Embracing the Power of Acceptance. Acceptance is a transformative force, capable of unlocking profound personal growth and catalyzing genuine change. When we resist our current reality, we become entangled in a web of internal struggle, expending precious energy fighting against what is, rather than focusing on what could be. This chapter invites you to explore the paradoxical power of acceptance and how it can serve as a foundation for real, lasting transformation. Resistance often manifests as an unwillingness to acknowledge and accept the present moment. We may find ourselves clinging to an idealized version of how things should be, rather than facing the truth of how they actually are. This disconnect between our expectations and reality can lead to frustration, anxiety, and a sense of being stuck. However, by consciously choosing to accept our current circumstances, we open the door to new possibilities and opportunities for growth. Acceptance does not mean resignation or passivity. It is not about giving up or surrendering to a less than ideal situation. Instead, acceptance is an active process of acknowledging reality without judgment, and from this place of clarity, making intentional choices about how to move forward. When we accept what is, we free ourselves from the burden of resistance and create space for positive change to occur. The practice of acceptance requires a shift in perspective. Rather than viewing challenges or setbacks as obstacles to be overcome, we can choose to see them as opportunities for learning and development. By embracing the entirety of our experience, both the joys and the struggles, we cultivate a sense of wholeness and resilience. We begin to understand that every aspect of our journey, even the difficult parts, has value and purpose. Acceptance also involves extending compassion and understanding to ourselves. Often, our resistance stems from a place of self-judgment or criticism. We may believe that accepting our flaws or mistakes means we are somehow inadequate or unworthy. However, true acceptance means embracing all parts of ourselves with kindness and empathy. It is a recognition that we are human, and that our imperfections are an integral part of our unique journey. Cultivating acceptance does not happen overnight. It is a skill that requires practice and patience. A powerful tool for fostering acceptance is mindfulness. By bringing our attention to the present moment, without judgment, we can observe our thoughts and emotions with greater clarity. We learn to witness our resistance, rather than being consumed by it. Through this process of mindful awareness, we gradually develop the capacity to accept what arises, moment by moment. As we deepen our practice of acceptance, we may encounter fears or doubts. The ego, with its desire for control and certainty, may resist the idea of surrendering to what is. It is essential to approach these fears with curiosity and compassion, recognizing that they are natural parts of the human experience. By gently acknowledging and accepting these fears, we diminish their power over us and create space for courage and trust to emerge. Acceptance is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. Life is constantly presenting us with new challenges and opportunities for growth. By cultivating a mindset of acceptance, we develop the resilience and flexibility needed to navigate change with grace and ease. We learn to trust in the unfolding of our journey, knowing that each moment, whether pleasant or difficult, holds the potential for transformation. The power of acceptance lies in its ability to create a solid foundation for real change. When we accept our current reality, we are no longer fighting against what is, but instead, focusing our energy on what we can influence. From this place of clarity and presence, we can make conscious choices and take purposeful action toward our goals and aspirations. Acceptance empowers us to be proactive, rather than reactive, in shaping our lives. Embracing acceptance does not mean that we passively endure undesirable circumstances or tolerate mistreatment. On the contrary, acceptance provides us with the clarity and strength needed to make necessary changes and set healthy boundaries. By accepting what is, we gain the wisdom to discern what we can control and what we cannot. We learn to focus our energy on the aspects of our lives that we can influence, while releasing attachment to outcomes beyond our control. The transformative power of acceptance extends beyond our personal lives and into our relationships with others. When we practice acceptance, we cultivate a greater capacity for empathy, understanding, and compassion. We recognize that everyone is on their own unique path, facing their own challenges and opportunities for growth. By accepting others as they are, without judgment or expectation, we create a space for authentic connection and healing. Acceptance is a gateway to inner peace and contentment. When we resist reality, we create internal turmoil and suffering. By embracing what is, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, finding harmony and ease in the present moment. Acceptance allows us to let go of the weight of expectations and attachments, freeing us to experience the fullness and richness of each moment. The power of acceptance lies in its simplicity. It does not require us to change our external circumstances, but rather to shift our internal perspective. By choosing to accept what is, we reclaim our power and agency, no longer being held hostage by the illusion of control. Acceptance is a profound act of self-love and self-respect, honoring our inherent worth and dignity, regardless of our current challenges or limitations. As you begin to integrate the practice of acceptance into your life, be gentle with yourself. Remember that acceptance is a journey, not a destination. There will be moments when resistance arises, and that is okay. Meet those moments with kindness and understanding, knowing that each step, no matter how small, is a step toward greater freedom and authenticity. Embracing acceptance is an invitation to live fully and authentically in the present moment. It is a powerful catalyst for personal growth, healing, and transformation. By accepting what is, we open ourselves to the vast potential of what could be. We discover that our challenges and struggles are not obstacles to be overcome, but rather opportunities for deeper self-discovery and expansion. The power of acceptance lies within each of us, waiting to be harnessed for real change. By embracing acceptance, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, finding grace, resilience, and joy in the midst of uncertainty. We discover that the key to lasting transformation lies not in resisting reality, but in accepting it fully, with an open heart and a curious mind. Chapter 2. The Illusion of Control. The human mind has an innate desire to feel in control of its surroundings, experiences, and outcomes. We often cling to the belief that by exerting our will and influence, we can shape our lives according to our preferences and aspirations. However, this persistent illusion of control can be a significant source of stress, anxiety, and disappointment when reality inevitably diverges from our expectations. This chapter explores the liberating power of letting go of the need to control every aspect of life and finding peace in the present moment. From an early age, we are conditioned to believe that control is a requisite for success and happiness. Society reinforces the notion that we should be the masters of our own destinies, capable of molding our lives through sheer determination and effort. While personal responsibility and proactive choices are indeed important, the truth is that much of life remains beyond our direct control. Attempting to manipulate or force outcomes can lead to frustration and a sense of powerlessness when things don't unfold as planned. The illusion of control is rooted in our ego's desire for certainty and predictability. The ego thrives on the belief that it can navigate life's challenges and uncertainties by imposing its will upon them. It seeks to create a sense of safety and security by attempting to control external circumstances, other people's behaviors, and even our own thoughts and emotions. However, this grasping for control is ultimately futile, as life is inherently unpredictable and ever-changing. When we become attached to the idea of control, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. We may experience anxiety about potential outcomes, fear of the unknown, or frustration when things don't go according to plan. This constant need to control can lead to a state of chronic stress, as we exhaust ourselves mentally and emotionally trying to bend reality to our will. It can also hinder our ability to adapt and respond effectively to challenges, as we become rigid in our thinking and resistant to change. Letting go of the illusion of control does not mean relinquishing personal responsibility or becoming passive in the face of life's challenges. Rather, it involves accepting that while we can influence certain aspects of our lives, there are many factors beyond our direct control. By acknowledging this reality, we can redirect our energy and attention towards what we can actually impact, such as our attitudes, choices, and responses to the present moment. The practice of mindfulness is a powerful tool for releasing the grip of control. By bringing our awareness to the present moment, without judgment or resistance, we begin to experience life as it unfolds, rather than constantly trying to mold it to our expectations. Mindfulness helps us cultivate a sense of equanimity, allowing us to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. We learn to respond to life's challenges with greater flexibility and resilience, rather than reacting from a place of fear or resistance. Letting go of control also involves developing a deeper trust in the natural flow of life. This trust doesn't imply blind faith or naive optimism, but rather a recognition that life has its own intelligence and rhythm. By surrendering to this flow, we open ourselves to new possibilities and opportunities that may not have been apparent when we were fixated on a specific outcome. We learn to embrace the uncertainty and spontaneity of life, finding joy and growth in the unexpected. Cultivating acceptance is a key aspect of releasing the need for control. When we accept reality as it is, rather than fighting against it, we create space for peace and contentment. Acceptance doesn't mean agreeing with or condoning undesirable circumstances. Rather, it is an acknowledgement of what is in the present moment. By accepting what we cannot change, we free ourselves from the burden of resistance and can focus our energy on what we can influence. Relinquishing control also requires a shift in our relationship with our thoughts and beliefs. Often, our need for control is fueled by limiting beliefs and cognitive distortions, such as the idea that we must be perfect, that we can't handle uncertainty, or that our worth is dependent on specific outcomes. By challenging these beliefs and replacing them with more empowering and realistic perspectives, we can gradually loosen the grip of control and develop greater emotional resilience. Letting go of control doesn't happen overnight. It is a gradual process of unlearning conditioned patterns and embracing a new way of relating to life. It requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to step into the unknown. As we practice releasing control, we may encounter resistance and discomfort, as the ego clings to its familiar patterns. However, by gently acknowledging these feelings and continuing to orient ourselves towards acceptance and trust, we gradually build the capacity to let go and find peace in the present. The benefits of relinquishing the illusion of control are profound. When we let go of the need to control every aspect of life, we experience a greater sense of freedom, spontaneity, and openness. We become more adaptable and resilient in the face of change, able to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and grace. We also cultivate deeper relationships with others, as we release the need to control or manipulate their behaviors and instead focus on authentic connection and understanding. Letting go of control also allows us to tap into a deeper sense of trust and faith in ourselves and the larger unfolding of life. We begin to recognize that even in the midst of uncertainty and change, there is an underlying order and intelligence at work. By aligning ourselves with this natural flow, we access a greater sense of purpose and meaning, knowing that our experiences, both joyful and challenging, are part of a larger tapestry of growth and evolution. The illusion of control is a pervasive and deeply ingrained pattern that many of us struggle with. However, by bringing awareness to this tendency and actively practicing letting go, we can gradually release its grip and discover a newfound sense of peace and freedom. By accepting reality as it is, cultivating mindfulness, and trusting in the natural unfolding of life, we open ourselves to a more authentic and fulfilling way of being. Chapter 3. Befriending your inner critic. The voice of the inner critic is a familiar presence in the minds of many, often emerging as a relentless stream of self-judgment, doubt, and criticism. This internal commentary can be a significant barrier to personal growth, self-acceptance, and overall well-being. However, by learning to befriend and transform your inner critic, you can harness its energy for positive change and cultivate a more compassionate and supportive inner dialogue. This chapter explores practical techniques for developing a healthier relationship with your inner critic and leveraging its potential for growth and self-discovery. The inner critic often arises as a result of internalized messages and beliefs from our past experiences, societal conditioning, and personal insecurities. It can manifest as a harsh and unrelenting voice that scrutinizes our every action, thought, and decision, leaving us feeling inadequate, unworthy, or stuck. While the inner critic may have originally developed as a means of self-protection or motivation, its constant negative commentary can undermine our confidence, creativity, and ability to take risks and pursue our goals. The first step in befriending your inner critic is to recognize and acknowledge its presence. Many people are so accustomed to the voice of their inner critic that they may not even be aware of its constant chatter. By bringing mindful attention to your inner dialogue, you can begin to identify the patterns and themes of your self-criticism. This awareness is crucial, as it allows you to create some distance between yourself and the critical voice, recognizing that it is not the entirety of who you are. Once you have identified your inner critic, the next step is to approach it with curiosity and compassion. Rather than trying to silence or suppress the critical voice, which can often lead to greater resistance and inner conflict, aim to understand its underlying intentions and motivations. Ask yourself, what is this part of me trying to communicate? What fears or concerns might be fueling its criticism? By exploring your inner critic with a spirit of openness and non-judgment, you can begin to uncover the deeper needs and vulnerabilities that may be driving its behavior. A powerful technique for transforming your relationship with your inner critic is to engage in a dialogue with it. This can be done through journaling, visualization, or even speaking aloud to yourself. Address your inner critic as if it were a separate entity, and ask it questions to gain clarity on its perspective. For example, you might ask, "Why do you believe I'm not capable of achieving this goal? What evidence do you have to support this view?" By engaging in this dialogue, you create an opportunity to challenge and reframe the limiting beliefs and assumptions that fuel your self-criticism. As you explore the underlying fears and concerns of your inner critic, it's essential to respond with self-compassion and understanding. Recognize that your inner critic is often trying to protect you from perceived threats or disappointments, even if its methods are misguided or unhelpful. Offer yourself the kindness and support you would extend to a close friend facing similar challenges. Speak to yourself with gentleness and encouragement, acknowledging your human imperfections and the inherent worth of your being. Another effective strategy for befriending your inner critic is to reframe its messages in a more constructive and growth-oriented manner. When you notice your inner critic engaging in harsh self-judgment or criticism, pause and consider how you might rephrase those thoughts in a more supportive and empowering way. For instance, instead of berating yourself for making a mistake, you might reframe the message as an opportunity for learning and improvement. By consciously shifting your inner dialogue towards self-compassion and encouragement, you gradually retrain your mind to adopt a more nurturing and resilient perspective. Cultivating self-awareness is a key component of transforming your relationship with your inner critic. Take time to reflect on the beliefs, patterns, and experiences that may have shaped your self-critical tendencies. Explore your values, strengths, and authentic desires, and consider how your inner critic may be holding you back from living in alignment with them. By developing a deeper understanding of yourself and your unique journey, you can begin to separate your true identity from the limiting narratives of your inner critic. Engaging in practices that promote self-acceptance and self-love can further support the process of befriending your inner critic. This may include activities such as mindfulness meditation, gratitude journaling, or self-care rituals that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. By regularly investing in your own well-being and cultivating a loving relationship with yourself, you create a solid foundation from which to navigate the challenges and growth opportunities presented by your inner critic. It's important to remember that transforming your relationship with your inner critic is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. There will likely be moments when the critical voice resurfaces, especially during times of stress, uncertainty, or personal growth. However, by consistently applying the techniques and mindset shifts explored in this chapter, you can develop the resilience and self-compassion needed to navigate these challenges with greater ease and grace. Befriending your inner critic requires patience, self-reflection, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. It invites you to confront deeply ingrained patterns of self-judgment and to cultivate a more loving and accepting relationship with yourself. While this process can be challenging at times, the rewards are immeasurable. By transforming your inner critic into an ally, you unlock your full potential for growth, creativity, and authentic self-expression. The path of self-discovery and personal transformation is unique to each individual. What works for one person may not resonate with another. Trust your own intuition and inner wisdom as you explore the techniques and insights offered in this chapter. Adapt and customize the practices to suit your own needs and preferences, and be open to experimenting with different approaches until you find what resonates most deeply with you. Befriending your inner critic is a courageous act of self-love and self-acceptance. It requires a willingness to face your fears, vulnerabilities, and limiting beliefs head-on, and to choose a path of growth and compassion. By embracing this journey, you not only transform your relationship with yourself, but also create a ripple effect of positive change in your relationships, your work, and your overall experience of life. Chapter 4. The Art of Mindful Observation. Mindful observation is a transformative skill that enables us to witness our thoughts, emotions, and experiences with clarity, curiosity, and non-judgment. By cultivating this ability, we gain valuable insights into the workings of our minds and develop a greater capacity for self-awareness, emotional regulation, and inner peace. This chapter explores practical techniques for honing the art of mindful observation and integrating it into daily life as a powerful tool for personal growth and well-being. At the heart of mindful observation lies the practice of present moment awareness. This involves bringing our full attention to the here and now, without getting caught up in rumination about the past or worries about the future. When we anchor ourselves in the present, we create space to observe our internal experiences with greater objectivity and clarity. We begin to recognize that our thoughts and emotions are transient phenomena, arising and passing away like waves on the ocean, rather than fixed realities that define us. Mindful observation invites us to approach our inner world with a sense of openness, curiosity, and acceptance. Rather than judging or suppressing our thoughts and emotions, we learn to simply witness them without attachment or aversion. This non-judgmental stance allows us to develop a more compassionate and understanding relationship with ourselves, recognizing that our experiences, no matter how challenging or uncomfortable, are a natural part of the human condition. The practice of mindful observation can be applied to various aspects of our internal landscape. We can observe our thoughts, noticing their content, patterns, and the stories we tell ourselves. We can observe our emotions, feeling them fully in the body without getting caught up in their narratives. We can also observe physical sensations, such as the rise and fall of the breath, the beating of the heart, or the subtle energies flowing through the body. Mindful observation is a skill that requires regular practice and cultivation. A foundational technique for developing this ability is mindfulness meditation. During mindfulness meditation, we intentionally focus our attention on a chosen object, such as the breath, bodily sensations, or sounds, and observe the flow of our experiences without judgment. When we notice our mind wandering, as it inevitably will, we gently redirect our attention back to the object of focus. Through consistent practice, we train our minds to be more present, aware, and attuned to the subtleties of our inner world. In addition to formal meditation practice, Mindful observation can be integrated into daily life activities. We can bring mindful awareness to simple tasks, such as eating, walking, or engaging in conversation. By fully immersing ourselves in the sensory experience of the present moment, we cultivate a deeper sense of presence and connection. We learn to savor the richness and nuances of life, rather than moving through our days on autopilot. Mindful observation also plays a crucial role in emotional regulation and resilience. When we encounter challenging emotions or stressful situations, the ability to observe our experiences with non-judgment allows us to respond with greater skill and composure. Rather than getting swept away by reactive impulses or negative thought patterns, we can create space to pause, breathe, and choose a more thoughtful and balanced response. This capacity for emotional regulation is essential for navigating life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity. The practice of mindful observation can be particularly helpful in working with difficult or persistent thoughts and emotions. When we find ourselves caught in a loop of rumination or self-criticism, mindful observation enables us to step back and recognize these patterns without being consumed by them. We can observe the thoughts and emotions as temporary mental events, rather than facts or reflections of our self-worth. This shift in perspective can be profoundly liberating, allowing us to disentangle ourselves from the grip of negative self-talk and cultivate a more balanced and compassionate inner dialogue. Mindful observation also enhances our ability to communicate and connect with others. When we bring mindful presence to our interactions, we become better listeners and more attuned to the needs and experiences of those around us. We can observe our own reactions and biases without acting upon them impulsively, creating space for more authentic and empathetic communication. This heightened awareness fosters deeper understanding, rapport, and connection in our relationships. The benefits of mindful observation extend beyond personal well-being and into various aspects of life. In the workplace, mindful observation can enhance focus, creativity, and decision-making skills. In education, it can promote self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and resilience among students. In healthcare, mindful observation is increasingly recognized as a valuable tool for stress reduction, pain management, and overall well-being. Cultivating the art of mindful observation is a lifelong journey, one that unfolds with patience, self-compassion, and a spirit of curiosity. There will be moments when our minds feel scattered, our emotions overwhelming, and our ability to observe challenged. In these times, it's essential to approach ourselves with kindness and understanding, recognizing that the practice of mindful observation is not about perfection, but about showing up with openness and a willingness to learn. The rewards of mindful observation are profound and far-reaching. As we develop this skill, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves, our patterns, and our potential for growth and transformation. We discover a spaciousness within, a place of clarity and calm amidst the chaos of life. We learn to meet each moment with presence, acceptance, and an open heart, allowing life to unfold in its own natural rhythm. Mindful observation is a gateway to inner wisdom, self-discovery, and authentic living. It invites us to step into the role of a curious and compassionate witness, observing the ever-changing landscape of our minds and hearts with equanimity and grace. Through this practice, we cultivate a more intimate and loving relationship with ourselves, and in turn, with the world around us. The art of mindful observation is a precious gift, one that we can nurture and refine throughout our lives. With each moment of mindful awareness, we plant the seeds of inner peace, clarity, and understanding. We open ourselves to the beauty and richness of the present, and in doing so, we unlock our innate capacity for growth, healing, and transformation. Mindful observation is not a destination to be reached, but a way of being to be embodied. It is a practice that invites us to show up fully, with curiosity and compassion, to the unfolding mystery of our lives. As we cultivate this skill, we discover that the path to inner peace and wholeness lies not in changing or controlling our experiences, but in learning to observe them with an open and accepting heart. Chapter 5. Navigating Discomfort. Discomfort is an inevitable part of the human experience, arising in various forms such as physical pain, emotional distress, or psychological unease. While our natural inclination may be to avoid or suppress discomfort, learning to navigate it with skill and grace can be a catalyst for profound personal growth and transformation. This chapter explores practical strategies for embracing discomfort as an opportunity for self-discovery and developing the resilience to move through challenging emotions with mindfulness and compassion. Discomfort often emerges when we encounter situations that challenge our familiar patterns, beliefs, or sense of control. It can manifest as anxiety when facing uncertainty, fear when confronting change, or sadness when experiencing loss or disappointment. These challenging emotions can feel overwhelming, leading us to resort to avoidance strategies such as distraction, denial, or numbing behaviors. However, when we habitually resist or suppress discomfort, we miss out on valuable opportunities for growth and self-understanding. Navigating discomfort begins with cultivating mindful awareness of our internal experiences. When we encounter discomfort, whether it be physical sensations, emotions, or thoughts, we can practice bringing our full attention to the present moment with openness and curiosity. By observing our discomfort without judgment or reactivity, we create space to respond skillfully rather than being caught in automatic patterns of avoidance or resistance. A key aspect of navigating discomfort is developing a new relationship with the sensations and emotions that arise. Rather than labeling discomfort as bad or wrong, we can approach it with a sense of friendliness and acceptance. This shift in perspective allows us to recognize that discomfort is a natural part of the human experience, and that it often carries valuable information and insights about our needs, values, and areas for growth. Practicing self-compassion is essential when navigating discomfort. When we encounter challenging emotions, it's easy to fall into patterns of self-criticism or judgment, believing that we should be able to handle discomfort with ease or that our struggles are a sign of weakness. However, by extending kindness and understanding towards ourselves, we create a supportive inner environment that allows us to face discomfort with greater resilience and grace. Mindful breathing is a powerful tool for navigating discomfort in the moment. When we find ourselves overwhelmed by challenging emotions, we can anchor our attention on the sensation of the breath moving in and out of the body. By focusing on the breath, we create a sense of grounding and stability amidst the turbulence of discomfort. We can use the breath as a refuge, a place to return to when our mind gets caught in cycles of worry, fear, or negativity. Another effective strategy for navigating discomfort is to cultivate a sense of curiosity and openness towards the experience. Rather than resisting or trying to push away the discomfort, we can approach it with a spirit of exploration and inquiry. We might ask ourselves, what is this discomfort trying to teach me? What can I learn about myself by being present with this experience? By engaging with discomfort as a teacher, we open ourselves to new insights and opportunities for growth. It's important to recognize that navigating discomfort is a skill that develops over time, through consistent practice and self-reflection. There will be moments when we feel overwhelmed, when the discomfort seems too intense to bear, and that's okay. In these moments, we can practice self-compassion, reminding ourselves that navigating discomfort is a learning process, and that setbacks are a natural part of the journey. Seeking support from others can be invaluable when navigating discomfort. Connecting with trusted friends, family members, or mental health professionals who can offer empathy, understanding, and guidance can provide a sense of validation and encouragement. Sharing our struggles with others can help us feel less alone and more supported as we navigate the challenges of discomfort. Engaging in practices that promote emotional regulation and resilience can further support our ability to navigate discomfort. This may include activities such as regular exercise, mindfulness meditation, journaling, or creative self-expression. By nurturing our overall well-being and developing a toolkit of coping strategies, we build the inner resources needed to face discomfort with greater ease and confidence. Navigating discomfort also involves recognizing when it is necessary to take action or make changes in our lives. While some discomfort is a natural part of growth and self-discovery, there may be times when the discomfort we experience is a signal that something needs to shift. This might involve setting boundaries, making difficult decisions, or taking steps to address underlying issues or challenges. By listening to our discomfort with curiosity and discernment, we can gain clarity on the actions we need to take to create positive change. It's essential to approach the process of navigating discomfort with patience and self-compassion. There will be times when we feel stuck, when the discomfort seems insurmountable, and when we question our ability to cope. In these moments, it's important to remember that growth often happens in small, incremental steps. By celebrating the small victories and acknowledging the courage it takes to face discomfort, we cultivate a sense of resilience and self-trust. Navigating discomfort is not about eliminating or avoiding challenging emotions altogether. Rather, it is about developing the skills and mindset needed to meet discomfort with openness, curiosity, and compassion. As we learn to embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth, we discover a greater capacity for emotional flexibility, self-awareness, and inner strength. The path of navigating discomfort is unique to each individual, shaped by our personal experiences, beliefs, and temperament. What works for one person may not resonate with another. Trust your own intuition and inner wisdom as you explore the strategies and practices that support your journey. Be open to experimenting, adapting, and refining your approach as you gain new insights and understanding. Navigating discomfort is a lifelong practice, one that invites us to meet ourselves with honesty, compassion, and a willingness to grow. As we develop the skills to move through challenging emotions with grace, we cultivate a deeper sense of resilience, self-acceptance, and emotional intelligence. We learn to trust in our ability to weather life's storms and emerge stronger, wiser, and more fully alive. The rewards of navigating discomfort extend far beyond personal well-being. As we develop the capacity to embrace discomfort, we become more empathetic, compassionate, and understanding towards others who are facing their own challenges. We create ripples of positive change in our relationships, communities, and the world at large, inspiring others to meet discomfort with courage and an open heart. Navigating discomfort is an invitation to step into the fullness of our humanity, to embrace the entirety of our experience with curiosity and compassion. It is a path of self-discovery, growth, and transformation, one that requires vulnerability, courage, and a willingness to face the unknown. As we learn to navigate discomfort with skill and grace, we unlock our innate capacity for resilience, wisdom, and authentic living. Chapter 6. The Wisdom of Impermanence. Impermanence is a fundamental truth of existence, yet it is often overlooked or resisted in our quest for stability and certainty. Everything in life, from the smallest moments to the grandest structures, is subject to change, transformation, and eventual dissolution. By accepting and embracing the transient nature of reality, we can cultivate a deeper sense of presence, appreciation, and equanimity in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. This chapter explores the wisdom of impermanence and offers practical insights for integrating this understanding into daily life. The concept of impermanence is rooted in the recognition that all phenomena, both internal and external, are in a constant state of flux. Our thoughts, emotions, sensations, and circumstances are always shifting, arising and passing away in a ceaseless dance of change. Even the most seemingly solid and enduring aspects of our lives, such as relationships, careers, and physical health, are subject to the forces of impermanence. By acknowledging this truth, we can begin to release our grip on the illusion of permanence and open ourselves to a more fluid and adaptable way of being. Accepting impermanence does not mean resignation or passivity in the face of change. Rather, it is an invitation to engage with life fully, knowing that each moment is a precious and fleeting gift. When we recognize the transient nature of our experiences, we are more likely to appreciate and savor them while they last. We learn to hold our joys and successes with a sense of gratitude and openness, rather than clinging to them as if they will last forever. Similarly, we can meet our challenges and difficulties with greater resilience and perspective, knowing that they, too, will eventually pass. The wisdom of impermanence encourages us to cultivate a deeper sense of presence and mindfulness in our daily lives. When we are fully engaged with the present moment, we are less likely to get caught up in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. We can experience the richness and vibrancy of life as it unfolds, with all its subtleties and nuances. By bringing a quality of mindful attention to our experiences, we develop a greater capacity for savoring the good times and navigating the challenges with grace and flexibility. Embracing impermanence also invites us to hold our plans, expectations, and attachments more lightly. While it is natural and necessary to set goals and work towards desired outcomes, the wisdom of impermanence reminds us to remain open and adaptable to the unpredictable nature of life. When we cling too tightly to specific outcomes or expectations, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration when things inevitably change. By cultivating a sense of flexibility and detachment, we can navigate the twists and turns of life with greater ease and equanimity. The practice of accepting impermanence can be particularly valuable in times of transition, loss, or upheaval. When we face significant changes, such as the end of a relationship, the loss of a loved one, or a major life transition, the ground beneath us can feel shaky and uncertain. In these moments, the wisdom of impermanence can provide a source of comfort and perspective. By acknowledging that change is a natural and inevitable part of life, we can find the strength and resilience to move through difficult experiences with greater grace and compassion for ourselves and others. Cultivating an understanding of impermanence can also foster a deeper sense of interconnectedness and empathy. When we recognize that all beings are subject to the same forces of change and uncertainty, we can feel a greater sense of kinship and compassion for the struggles and joys of others. We can see beyond surface differences and connect with the shared human experience of navigating the ever-changing landscape of life. This sense of interconnectedness can inspire us to act with greater kindness, generosity, and understanding towards ourselves and those around us. The wisdom of impermanence invites us to embrace the present moment fully, knowing that it is the only reality we truly have. Rather than getting lost in memories of the past or fantasies of the future, we can anchor ourselves in the richness and vividness of the here and now. By cultivating a deep appreciation for the fleeting nature of life, we can experience a sense of aliveness, wonder, and gratitude for the precious gift of each moment. Integrating the wisdom of impermanence into daily life requires ongoing practice and self-reflection. We can start by bringing a quality of mindful attention to the small changes and transitions that occur throughout our day, such as the shifting of our breath, the passing of thoughts, or the changing of the seasons. By attuning ourselves to the constant flow of impermanence, we gradually develop a greater capacity for acceptance and adaptability in the face of life's larger challenges. Engaging in practices that cultivate a direct experience of impermanence can further deepen our understanding and embodiment of this wisdom. This may include meditations on the breath, the body, or the changing nature of thoughts and emotions. We can also reflect on the impermanence of the natural world, observing the cycles of birth, growth, decay, and renewal that are present in all living things. By connecting with the truth of impermanence on a visceral level, we can develop a greater sense of humility, awe, and reverence for the mysteries of life. The wisdom of impermanence is not about denying the reality of suffering or the challenges we face in life. Rather, it is a powerful tool for meeting these experiences with greater resilience, compassion, and skill. When we accept the transient nature of both our joys and sorrows, we free ourselves from the tyranny of attachment and aversion. We learn to ride the waves of change with greater ease and grace, trusting in our innate capacity to adapt and grow. Embracing impermanence does not mean that we cannot cherish and appreciate the beauty and goodness in our lives. In fact, the recognition of impermanence can heighten our gratitude and reverence for the precious moments we are given. By holding our experiences with an open hand, we can savor them more fully, knowing that they are fleeting and not to be taken for granted. We can cultivate a sense of wonder and awe at the ever-changing dance of life, finding beauty and meaning in the midst of constant transformation. The wisdom of impermanence is a doorway to liberation and inner peace. When we release our grip on the illusion of permanence and control, we open ourselves to the vast and mysterious unfolding of life. We learn to trust in the inherent resilience and creativity of our being, knowing that we have the capacity to meet whatever arises with presence, courage, and an open heart. Accepting impermanence is a lifelong journey, one that requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to surrender to the unknown. There will be moments of resistance, fear, and clinging, and that is a natural part of the human experience. By meeting these experiences with kindness and understanding, we gradually develop the wisdom and equanimity to navigate life's constant changes with greater skill and grace. The wisdom of impermanence invites us to embrace the fullness of our humanity, with all its joys, sorrows, and uncertainties. It is a path of self-discovery and transformation, one that leads us to a deeper understanding of the nature of reality and our place within it. As we learn to dance with the ever-changing flow of life, we discover a profound sense of freedom, aliveness, and connection to the greater web of existence. Chapter 7. Reframing resistance. Resistance is a common experience on the path of personal growth and self-discovery. It often arises when we encounter challenges, fears, or aspects of ourselves that feel uncomfortable or threatening. However, when we learn to reframe resistance as a signpost for growth, we open ourselves to a powerful catalyst for transformation and self-realization. This chapter explores practical strategies for understanding and working with resistance, allowing it to guide us towards our most authentic and fulfilled selves. Resistance can manifest in various forms, such as procrastination, self-sabotage, avoidance, or a general sense of unease or discomfort. These experiences are often accompanied by negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, or a desire to escape the present moment. While resistance can feel like an obstacle or hindrance, it is actually a valuable source of information and guidance. When we approach resistance with curiosity and openness, we can begin to uncover the deeper fears, beliefs, and patterns that may be holding us back. The first step in reframing resistance is to cultivate a mindful awareness of its presence. When we notice ourselves resisting a particular experience, task, or aspect of ourselves, we can pause and bring a gentle, non-judgmental attention to the sensations, thoughts, and emotions that arise. By creating space to observe our resistance without getting caught up in it, we begin to develop a more objective and compassionate perspective. We can ask ourselves questions such as, what is this resistance trying to tell me? What fears or beliefs might be underlying this experience? As we explore the nature of our resistance, it's important to approach it with a sense of kindness and self-compassion. Resistance is often rooted in a desire to protect ourselves from perceived threats or discomfort. By extending understanding and care towards our resistant parts, we create a safe and supportive environment for self-exploration and growth. We can acknowledge the positive intentions behind our resistance, even if its strategies may not always serve our highest good. Reframing resistance involves shifting our perspective from seeing it as an enemy to be conquered to a wise teacher and guide. Every instance of resistance holds valuable lessons and opportunities for self-discovery. When we encounter resistance, we can ask ourselves, what is this experience inviting me to learn or explore? How can I use this resistance as a catalyst for growth and transformation? By approaching resistance with a spirit of curiosity and openness, we begin to view it as a powerful ally on our path of personal evolution. One effective way to work with resistance is to engage in a dialogue with it. This can be done through journaling, visualization, or even speaking out loud to ourselves. We can personify our resistance, giving it a voice and presence, and then engage in a conversation with it. We might ask questions such as, what are you trying to protect me from? What do you need in order to feel safe and supported? By creating a space for our resistance to be heard and understood, we can begin to uncover the deeper fears and needs that may be driving its behavior. As we explore the underlying causes of our resistance, it's important to challenge and reframe any limiting beliefs or assumptions that may be present. Resistance often stems from a place of fear or scarcity, a belief that we are not capable, worthy, or deserving of the growth and change we desire. By consciously replacing these limiting beliefs with more empowering and expansive perspectives, we begin to dissolve the barriers that resistance creates. We can affirm our inherent worthiness, resilience, and capacity for transformation, even in the face of discomfort or uncertainty. Reframing resistance also involves developing a new relationship with discomfort and vulnerability. Growth and change often require us to step outside of our comfort zones, to embrace the unknown and the uncertain. When we resist discomfort, we limit our ability to expand and evolve. By cultivating a willingness to be with discomfort, to lean into the edges of our resistance, we open ourselves to new possibilities and experiences. We learn to trust in our innate resilience and capacity to navigate challenges with grace and courage. The practice of self-compassion is essential in working with resistance. When we encounter resistance, it's common to fall into patterns of self-judgment, criticism, or frustration. However, these reactions only serve to strengthen the grip of resistance and create additional layers of suffering. By extending kindness, understanding, and forgiveness towards ourselves, we create a more conducive environment for growth and transformation. We can remind ourselves that resistance is a natural part of the human experience, and that our worth and value are not diminished by its presence. Engaging in practices that promote self-awareness and emotional regulation can further support the process of reframing resistance. This may include mindfulness meditation, yoga, journaling, or creative self-expression. By developing a greater capacity to observe and manage our internal experiences, we become more skillful in navigating the challenges and discomforts that resistance presents. We learn to respond to resistance with presence, wisdom, and compassion, rather than reacting from a place of fear or avoidance. Reframing resistance is an ongoing practice, one that requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. There will be moments when resistance feels overwhelming, when the temptation to give up or turn back is strong. In these moments, it's important to remember that resistance is a natural part of the growth process, and that every challenge holds the potential for profound transformation and self-discovery. As we learn to reframe resistance as a signpost for growth, we begin to approach our lives with a greater sense of curiosity, openness, and trust. We recognize that every experience, even the difficult and uncomfortable ones, holds valuable lessons and opportunities for expansion. We learn to embrace the fullness of our humanity, with all its fears, doubts, and imperfections, knowing that these aspects are integral to our journey of self-realization. The path of reframing resistance is unique to each individual, shaped by our personal histories, beliefs, and temperaments. What works for one person may not resonate with another. Trust your own inner wisdom and intuition as you explore the strategies and practices that support your growth and transformation. Be open to experimenting, adapting, and refining your approach as you gain new insights and understanding. Reframing resistance is a courageous act of self-love and self-acceptance. It requires a willingness to face our fears, to embrace our shadow aspects, and to trust in the inherent wisdom and intelligence of our being. As we learn to work with resistance as a powerful ally and teacher, we unlock our full potential for growth, healing, and self-discovery. The rewards of reframing resistance extend far beyond personal satisfaction and fulfillment. As we develop the capacity to navigate resistance with skill and grace, we become a source of inspiration and support for others who may be struggling with similar challenges. We contribute to a collective awakening, a shift towards greater self-awareness, compassion, and resilience in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. Reframing resistance is a lifelong journey, one that invites us to embrace the fullness of our being with curiosity, compassion, and courage. It is a path of self-discovery and transformation, leading us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. As we learn to dance with resistance, to use it as a catalyst for growth and self-realization, we discover the boundless potential that lives within us, waiting to be unleashed. Chapter 8. The Power of Self-Inquiry. Self-inquiry is a transformative practice that invites us to explore the depths of our being, uncovering the beliefs, patterns, and assumptions that shape our perception of reality. By asking powerful questions and challenging our limiting beliefs, we open ourselves to new perspectives, insights, and possibilities for growth and change. This chapter explores the art of self-inquiry and offers practical tools for integrating this practice into daily life, empowering us to live with greater authenticity, purpose, and freedom. Self-inquiry begins with a willingness to question our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with openness and curiosity. Often, we operate on autopilot, accepting our habitual patterns of thinking and reacting as truth, without examining their validity or impact on our lives. By pausing and bringing a gentle, inquisitive attention to our internal experiences, we create space for self-reflection and insight. We can ask ourselves questions such as, is this thought true? Where did this belief come from? How is this pattern of behavior serving me? The practice of self-inquiry requires a foundation of self-compassion and non-judgment. As we explore our inner landscape, we may encounter aspects of ourselves that feel uncomfortable, shameful, or contradictory. It's essential to approach these parts with kindness and understanding, recognizing that they are often rooted in past experiences, conditioning, or a desire to protect ourselves from perceived threats. By extending compassion towards ourselves, we create a safe and supportive environment for self-exploration and growth. One powerful tool for self-inquiry is the use of open-ended questions. These are questions that invite deep reflection and introspection, rather than seeking a specific answer or solution. Examples of open-ended questions might include, what is my deepest longing? What is the fear underlying this belief? What would it feel like to fully accept and love myself in this moment? By engaging with these questions with curiosity and openness, we allow ourselves to access deeper layers of truth and insight. Self-inquiry also involves challenging and reframing limiting beliefs and assumptions. Throughout our lives, we absorb messages and narratives from our families, cultures, and personal experiences that shape our sense of self and our possibilities. Some of these beliefs may be empowering and supportive, while others may constrain our potential and limit our happiness. By examining these beliefs with a critical eye, we can begin to discern which ones serve our highest good and which ones need to be released or transformed. The practice of self-inquiry can be particularly powerful when applied to our core values and life purpose. By asking ourselves questions such as, what matters most to me? What brings me a sense of aliveness and fulfillment? How can I align my actions with my deepest values? We begin to clarify our authentic desires and aspirations. This clarity can serve as a guiding light, helping us navigate life's challenges and choices with greater integrity and intentionality. Engaging in self-inquiry requires a willingness to be vulnerable and honest with ourselves. It's common to encounter resistance or discomfort as we explore the hidden corners of our psyche, confronting aspects of ourselves that we may have avoided or denied. However, by leaning into this discomfort with courage and compassion, we open ourselves to profound opportunities for healing, growth, and transformation. We learn to embrace the fullness of our being, with all its strengths, weaknesses, and contradictions. The practice of self-inquiry can be enhanced through various tools and techniques, such as journaling, meditation, or working with a therapist or coach. Journaling provides a safe and private space to explore our thoughts and feelings, allowing us to gain clarity and insight through the process of writing. Meditation offers a way to cultivate inner stillness and awareness, creating a conducive environment for self-reflection and inquiry. Working with a skilled therapist or coach can provide guidance, support, and accountability as we navigate the challenges and opportunities of self-discovery. Integrating self-inquiry into daily life requires a commitment to presence and mindfulness. Throughout the day, we can pause and check in with ourselves, noticing our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations with curiosity and openness. We can ask ourselves questions such as, what is present for me in this moment? What is this experience trying to teach me? How can I respond to this situation with greater awareness and compassion? By bringing self-inquiry into the fabric of our lives, we cultivate a deeper relationship with ourselves and the world around us. The benefits of self-inquiry extend far beyond personal growth and self-awareness. As we develop a greater understanding of ourselves, we naturally become more empathetic, compassionate, and understanding towards others. We recognize that everyone is navigating their own unique challenges and opportunities for growth, and we can approach our relationships with greater patience, kindness, and wisdom. Self-inquiry also empowers us to make more conscious and aligned choices as we gain clarity on our values, desires, and purpose. The practice of self-inquiry is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey of self-discovery and transformation. As we peel back the layers of our conditioning and beliefs, we may encounter new questions, insights, and challenges that invite further exploration. This is a natural part of the growth process, and it's important to approach it with patience, self-compassion, and a spirit of adventure. Each moment of self-inquiry holds the potential for profound shifts in perspective, healing, and awakening. Self-inquiry is a deeply personal and intimate practice, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach. What resonates for one person may not resonate for another. Trust your own inner wisdom and intuition as you explore the questions and practices that feel most alive and relevant for you. Be open to experimenting, adapting, and refining your approach as you gain new insights and understanding. The path of self-inquiry is a unique and sacred journey, and it's important to honor your own process and pace. The power of self-inquiry lies in its ability to illuminate the truth of who we are, beyond the stories, beliefs, and identities that we have absorbed throughout our lives. As we peel back the layers of conditioning and fear, we discover a vast and luminous presence that is our true nature. We reconnect with our innate wisdom, creativity, and resilience, and we begin to live from a place of greater authenticity, purpose, and freedom. Self-inquiry is a courageous act of self-love and self-responsibility. It requires a willingness to face our fears, vulnerabilities, and shadows, and to take ownership of our thoughts, feelings, and actions. As we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, we become more empowered to create the lives we desire, aligning our choices and behaviors with our deepest values and aspirations. The practice of self-inquiry is a gift that we give ourselves, and by extension, to the world around us. As we cultivate greater self-awareness, compassion, and wisdom, we naturally become a force for healing, connection, and positive change. We inspire others through our example, and we contribute to a collective awakening of consciousness and love. The power of self-inquiry invites us to embark on a lifelong adventure of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. It is a path that leads us home to ourselves, to the truth of our being, and to the inherent wholeness and beauty that resides within. As we learn to ask transformative questions and challenge our limiting beliefs, we unlock our full potential for authentic living, purposeful action, and profound connection with ourselves, others, and the world around us. Chapter 9. Cultivating unconditional self-love. Self-love is the foundation of a fulfilling and authentic life. Yet for many, it remains an elusive and challenging concept. We live in a society that often promotes self-criticism, comparison, and the pursuit of external validation, leaving us feeling disconnected from our inherent worth and value. However, by cultivating unconditional self-love, we can develop a deep sense of acceptance, compassion, and respect for ourselves, regardless of our achievements, failures, or external circumstances. This chapter explores the transformative power of self-love and offers practical strategies for nurturing this essential quality within ourselves. Unconditional self-love is a love that is not contingent upon our actions, appearance, or accomplishments. It is a love that embraces the totality of our being, including our strengths, weaknesses, quirks, and imperfections. When we cultivate unconditional self-love, we develop a stable sense of self-worth that is not dependent on external factors or the opinions of others. We learn to treat ourselves with kindness, patience, and understanding, even in the face of challenges or setbacks. The journey towards self-love often begins with self-awareness and self-acceptance. Many of us have internalized messages and beliefs from our past experiences that tell us we are not good enough, lovable, or deserving of happiness. These negative self-perceptions can create a cycle of self-criticism and self-doubt that undermines our ability to love and accept ourselves fully. By bringing mindful attention to our inner dialogue and beliefs, we can begin to identify and challenge the patterns of thought that keep us stuck in self-judgment and self-rejection. Self-compassion is a key ingredient in cultivating unconditional self-love. When we extend compassion towards ourselves, we treat ourselves with the same kindness, understanding, and forgiveness that we would offer to a dear friend or loved one. We acknowledge that making mistakes, experiencing difficult emotions, and facing challenges are all a natural part of the human experience. By embracing ourselves with compassion, we create a safe and nurturing space for growth, healing, and self-discovery. Practicing self-care is another essential aspect of cultivating self-love. Self-care involves attending to our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual needs with intention and respect. This may include engaging in activities that promote relaxation, joy, and well-being, such as exercise, creative pursuits, spending time in nature, or connecting with supportive relationships. By prioritizing self-care, we send a powerful message to ourselves that we are worthy of love, attention, and nurturance. Cultivating self-love also involves setting healthy boundaries and learning to say no when necessary. Many of us have been conditioned to prioritize the needs and desires of others over our own, leading to feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and self-abandonment. By learning to set clear and compassionate boundaries, we honor our own needs and values, creating space for authentic self-expression and fulfillment. We learn to communicate our limits and desires with clarity and respect, both to ourselves and to others. Gratitude and self-appreciation are powerful tools for nurturing self-love. When we focus on the aspects of ourselves that we are grateful for, we shift our attention away from self-criticism and towards self-celebration. We can cultivate gratitude by regularly acknowledging our strengths, talents, and unique qualities, as well as the progress we have made in our personal growth and development. By practicing self-appreciation, we reinforce the belief that we are inherently valuable and deserving of love and respect. Developing a loving and supportive inner dialogue is crucial for cultivating unconditional self-love. The way we speak to ourselves has a profound impact on our self-perception and emotional well-being. By consciously choosing to engage in positive and encouraging self-talk, we can counteract the negative messages and beliefs that undermine our self-worth. We can practice affirming our inherent goodness, resilience, and potential, even in the face of challenges or setbacks. Cultivating self-love is an ongoing practice that requires patience, persistence, and self-compassion. There will be moments when self-doubt, self-criticism, and old patterns of thinking resurface, and that is a natural part of the growth process. In these moments, it is essential to meet ourselves with kindness and understanding, reminding ourselves that self-love is a journey, not a destination. By consistently choosing to treat ourselves with love and respect, we gradually rewire our brains and hearts to embrace our inherent worthiness. The benefits of cultivating unconditional self-love are far-reaching and transformative. When we love ourselves fully, we develop a deep sense of inner security and resilience that allows us to weather life's challenges with greater ease and grace. We become more confident in our choices and actions, trusting in our own wisdom and intuition. We also become more open to giving and receiving love from others, as we recognize that true love begins with the love we offer ourselves. Self-love is not a selfish or narcissistic pursuit, but rather a necessary foundation for living a life of authenticity, purpose, and connection. When we love ourselves unconditionally, we naturally extend that love and compassion to others, creating ripples of positive change in our relationships and communities. We become more empathetic, understanding, and accepting of the struggles and imperfections of those around us, recognizing that we are all works in progress, deserving of love and respect. Cultivating self-love is a deeply personal and intimate process, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach. What resonates for one person may not resonate for another. Trust your own inner wisdom and intuition as you explore the practices and strategies that feel most nurturing and supportive for you. Be open to experimenting, adapting, and refining your approach as you gain new insights and understanding. The path of self-love is a sacred journey, and it is important to honor your own unique needs and desires along the way. Self-love is not a destination to be reached, but a way of being to be embodied. It is a daily practice of choosing to treat ourselves with kindness, compassion, and respect, even in the face of life's challenges and imperfections. As we deepen our commitment to self-love, we naturally align ourselves with our highest potential and purpose, living from a place of authenticity, joy, and connection. The power of unconditional self-love lies in its ability to transform not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. As we learn to love and accept ourselves fully, we become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others who may be struggling with self-doubt and self-criticism. We model a way of being that is rooted in self-compassion, resilience, and inner peace, inviting others to discover the transformative power of self-love within themselves. Cultivating unconditional self-love is a courageous and revolutionary act in a world that often promotes self-judgment and external validation. It requires a willingness to challenge the status quo, to let go of limiting beliefs and patterns, and to embrace ourselves with radical acceptance and compassion. As we embark on this journey of self-love, we reclaim our inherent worth and value, and we open ourselves to a life of boundless possibility, connection, and joy. Chapter 10. Integrating acceptance into action. Acceptance is a powerful catalyst for personal growth and transformation, but it is not a passive or stagnant state. True acceptance involves a dynamic interplay between embracing reality as it is and taking inspired action towards positive change. This chapter explores the art of integrating acceptance into action, creating a harmonious balance between surrender and empowerment, and harnessing the transformative potential of this synergy in our lives. Acceptance lays the foundation for effective action by grounding us in the present moment. When we resist or deny reality, we expend valuable energy fighting against what is, rather than focusing on what we can actually influence. By cultivating acceptance, we develop the clarity and presence of mind needed to assess our current circumstances objectively, without getting caught up in judgment, blame, or regret. From this place of clarity, we can make conscious choices and take purposeful steps towards our goals and aspirations. Integrating acceptance into action requires a shift in our relationship with control. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that we must forcefully control our lives and circumstances to achieve desired outcomes. However, this approach often leads to frustration, anxiety, and a sense of powerlessness when things don't go according to plan. By practicing acceptance, we learn to differentiate between what we can control and what we cannot, focusing our energy and attention on the areas where we can make a meaningful impact. Acceptance does not mean resignation or passivity in the face of challenges or injustice. Rather, it is a springboard for effective and aligned action. When we accept reality as it is, we free ourselves from the burden of resistance and create space for new possibilities to emerge. We can then channel our energy into taking purposeful steps towards positive change, whether that involves setting boundaries, advocating for ourselves or others, or pursuing our passions and dreams. The practice of mindfulness is a powerful tool for integrating acceptance into action. By bringing our full attention to the present moment, without judgment or resistance, we cultivate a deeper awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. This awareness allows us to respond to life's challenges with greater skill and flexibility, rather than reacting impulsively or habitually. Through mindfulness, we develop the capacity to pause, reflect, and choose our actions with intention and wisdom. Self-compassion is another essential ingredient in the integration of acceptance and action. When we approach ourselves with kindness and understanding, we create a supportive inner environment that nurtures growth and resilience. Self-compassion allows us to accept our own limitations, mistakes, and imperfections, while still holding ourselves accountable for our choices and actions. By extending compassion to ourselves, we develop the courage and confidence needed to take risks, learn from setbacks, and persevere in the face of challenges. Integrating acceptance into action involves developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset is characterized by the belief that our abilities and characteristics are not fixed, but can be developed and expanded through effort, learning, and perseverance. When we embrace a growth mindset, we view challenges and obstacles as opportunities for growth and self-discovery, rather than as threats or limitations. We become more resilient in the face of setbacks, knowing that each experience, whether successful or not, holds valuable lessons and insights. Setting intentions and goals is a powerful way to bridge the gap between acceptance and action. When we clarify our deepest values, desires, and aspirations, we create a roadmap for purposeful action. By aligning our choices and behaviors with our intentions, we infuse our actions with meaning and significance. However, it's important to hold our goals and plans lightly, with a spirit of flexibility and openness. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change in unexpected ways. By practicing acceptance, we learn to adapt and adjust our strategies as needed, while still staying true to our core intentions. Taking inspired action requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones. Fear, self-doubt, and the desire for certainty can often hold us back from pursuing our dreams and making meaningful changes in our lives. However, by anchoring ourselves in acceptance, we develop the inner strength and resilience needed to face these challenges head-on. We learn to embrace discomfort as a natural part of growth and transformation, knowing that each step, no matter how small or imperfect, is a step towards our highest potential. Integrating acceptance into action also involves cultivating a sense of trust and surrender. While it's important to take purposeful action towards our goals, we must also recognize that there are many factors beyond our control that influence the outcomes of our efforts. By practicing acceptance, we learn to trust in the inherent wisdom and intelligence of life, knowing that even our challenges and setbacks serve a greater purpose in our growth and evolution. We surrender our attachment to specific outcomes, focusing instead on the quality of our intentions and actions. The practice of integrating acceptance into action is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey of learning, growth, and self-discovery. There will be moments when we fall back into old patterns of resistance, control, or self-judgment, and that is a natural part of the human experience. In these moments, it's essential to meet ourselves with compassion and understanding, gently redirecting our attention back to the present moment and recommitting to the path of acceptance and aligned action. Seeking support and guidance from others can be incredibly valuable in the process of integrating acceptance into action. Surrounding ourselves with a community of like-minded individuals who share our values and aspirations can provide encouragement, accountability, and inspiration along the way. Whether it's through therapy, coaching, workshops, or supportive relationships, having a network of allies and mentors can help us navigate the challenges and opportunities of this transformative work. The benefits of integrating acceptance into action are profound and far-reaching. As we learn to embrace reality as it is, while still taking purposeful steps towards our goals and dreams, we experience a greater sense of inner peace, fulfillment, and empowerment. We become more resilient in the face of change and uncertainty, knowing that we have the inner resources and wisdom to adapt and thrive in any circumstance. We also become more compassionate and understanding towards ourselves and others, recognizing that we are all navigating the complexities of life to the best of our abilities. Integrating acceptance into action is a practice that extends beyond personal growth and into all areas of life, including relationships, work, and social change. When we approach challenges and differences with a spirit of acceptance and open-heartedness, we create space for genuine understanding, collaboration, and positive transformation. We become agents of healing and reconciliation, both within ourselves and in the world around us. The path of integrating acceptance into action is unique to each individual, shaped by our personal histories, beliefs, and aspirations. What works for one person may not resonate with another. Trust your own inner wisdom and intuition as you explore the practices and strategies that support your growth and evolution. Be open to experimenting, adapting, and refining your approach as you gain new insights and understanding. Integrating acceptance into action is a courageous and transformative act of self-love and self-responsibility. It requires a willingness to face reality with honesty and compassion, to let go of the illusion of control, and to take purposeful steps towards our highest potential. As we learn to dance with the dynamic interplay of acceptance and action, we unlock our innate capacity for resilience, creativity, and authentic self-expression. The invitation to integrate acceptance into action is a call to embrace the fullness of our humanity, with all its joys, sorrows, and uncertainties. It is a path of self-discovery and transformation, leading us towards a life of greater purpose, meaning, and connection. As we learn to surrender to what is, while still taking inspired action towards what could be, we become co-creators of our own lives and the world around us, contributing to the collective awakening of consciousness and love. Chapter 11. Living in Alignment. Living in alignment is the embodiment of a life rooted in authenticity, purpose, and deep connection to our innermost values and aspirations. When we align our thoughts, words, and actions with our core beliefs and highest intentions, we experience a profound sense of coherence, fulfillment, and inner peace. This chapter explores the transformative power of living in alignment and offers practical strategies for cultivating this way of being in our daily lives. Alignment begins with self-awareness and self-reflection. To live in alignment, we must first gain clarity on our deepest values, passions, and life purpose. This requires a willingness to turn inward, to explore the landscape of our hearts and minds with curiosity and compassion. Through practices such as journaling, meditation, or contemplative inquiry, we can uncover the essential truths that guide and inspire us. We may ask ourselves questions such as, what matters most to me? What brings me a sense of aliveness and meaning? How do I want to contribute to the world? As we gain clarity on our core values and aspirations, the next step is to assess the degree to which our current life choices and circumstances reflect these priorities. This process of self-inventory can be both illuminating and challenging, as it may reveal areas of misalignment or incongruence. We may discover that certain relationships, work situations, or habits are draining our energy or pulling us away from our authentic path. By bringing gentle awareness to these misalignments, we create the opportunity for conscious change and realignment. Living in alignment requires the courage to make choices and take actions that honor our truth, even when it means going against the grain of societal expectations or familiar patterns. This may involve setting healthy boundaries, saying no to commitments that no longer serve us, or making bold moves in the direction of our dreams. It requires a willingness to let go of the need for external validation and approval, trusting instead in the wisdom of our own inner guidance. Authenticity is a key component of living in alignment. When we show up in the world as our true selves, without pretense or facade, we create the conditions for genuine connection and fulfillment. This involves embracing our unique qualities, quirks, and vulnerabilities, and letting them shine through in our interactions and creations. By speaking our truth with kindness and integrity, we inspire others to do the same, fostering a culture of authenticity and mutual respect. Living in alignment is not a static state, but a dynamic and ongoing process. As we grow and evolve, so too do our values, priorities, and life circumstances. What once felt aligned may no longer resonate, calling us to adapt and realign in new ways. This requires a spirit of flexibility, openness, and willingness to embrace change. By cultivating a mindset of curiosity and lifelong learning, we remain responsive to the ever-unfolding journey of alignment. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for living in alignment. By bringing our full attention to the present moment, we develop the capacity to observe our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with greater clarity and objectivity. This awareness allows us to catch ourselves when we are acting out of alignment, whether through self-betrayal, people-pleasing, or unconscious reactivity. By pausing, taking a conscious breath, and reconnecting with our intentions, we can course-correct and realign with our authentic path. Self-compassion is an essential ingredient in the journey of living in alignment. There will be times when we stumble, make mistakes, or fall short of our own expectations. In these moments, it's crucial to meet ourselves with kindness and understanding, remembering that growth is a process, not a destination. By extending compassion to ourselves, we cultivate the resilience and self-trust needed to keep showing up, even in the face of challenges or setbacks. Living in alignment involves cultivating a deep sense of trust in the unfolding of our lives. When we align ourselves with our true nature and purpose, we tap into a larger intelligence and flow that guides and supports us. This requires a willingness to surrender control, to let go of attachment to specific outcomes, and to trust in the inherent wisdom of the journey. By practicing acceptance and non-resistance, we open ourselves to the magic and serendipity of aligned living. Gratitude is a powerful practice for anchoring ourselves in alignment. When we focus on the blessings and opportunities present in our lives, we shift our attention away from lack or scarcity and towards abundance and possibility. By cultivating a daily practice of gratitude, whether through journaling, prayer, or silent reflection, we attune ourselves to the goodness and grace that surrounds us. This attitude of appreciation naturally aligns us with a higher frequency of joy, love, and fulfillment. Living in alignment also means aligning our relationships with our values and intentions. This involves surrounding ourselves with people who support and inspire us, who share our commitment to growth and authenticity. It may mean setting boundaries with those who drain our energy or undermine our sense of self-worth. By cultivating relationships based on mutual respect, empathy, and shared purpose, we create a network of support and encouragement that uplifts and sustains us on our path. Engaging in practices that nourish our mind, body, and spirit is essential for living in alignment. This may include activities such as yoga, exercise, creative expression, time in nature, or spiritual exploration. By regularly tending to our own well-being and inner growth, we create a strong foundation from which to live and serve in the world. We become more resilient, centered, and attuned to the whispers of our own inner wisdom. Living in alignment is a radical act of self-love and self-responsibility. It requires a commitment to honoring our own needs, desires, and boundaries, even when it means disappointing others or challenging the status quo. It means taking ownership of our choices and their consequences, and learning from both our successes and failures. By claiming our agency and authorship over our lives, we step into our power and potential as co-creators of our reality. The fruits of living in alignment are both personal and collective. When we align ourselves with our deepest truth and purpose, we experience a sense of wholeness, vitality, and inner peace. We become more effective in our work, more present in our relationships, and more resilient in the face of life's challenges. At the same time, by living in alignment, we contribute to the healing and evolution of the world around us. We become a force for positive change, inspiring others through our example and radiating our light into the world. The path of living in alignment is unique to each individual, shaped by our distinct personalities, histories, and callings. What feels authentic and purposeful for one person may differ greatly from another. The invitation is to honor your own inner knowing, to trust the wisdom of your heart and the guidance of your intuition. By staying true to yourself and taking courageous action in the direction of your dreams, You create a life of integrity, meaning, and profound fulfillment. Living in alignment is a lifelong journey of self-discovery and self-actualization. It is a path of courage, compassion, and commitment, requiring us to face our fears, embrace our shadows, and claim our greatness. As we navigate the twists and turns of this transformative journey, we learn to trust in the intelligence of life, the resilience of our spirits, and the power of our own choices. The invitation to live in alignment is a call to our highest potential and deepest truth. It is a summons to show up fully, authentically, and unapologetically in the world, to give our unique gifts and talents in service of something greater than ourselves. As we align our lives with our core values and sacred purpose, we become a beacon of hope and possibility, lighting the way for others and contributing to the collective awakening of humanity. Living in alignment is not a destination to be reached, but a way of being to be embodied, moment by moment, choice by choice. It is a practice of presence, integrity, and self-love, requiring us to show up with courage, compassion, and an open heart. As we learn to live in alignment with our deepest truth and highest aspirations, we create a life of profound meaning, connection, and fulfillment, leaving a legacy of love and light in the world.